All right, gentlemen. We went over the rules of the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Give me good sportsmanlike conduct. Punches here are good, both sides. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him out.
Vargas says he wants to use his strength to crowd Mosley. Oscar De La Hoya told me he had told Mosley that you've got to stand and go with Vargas to drive him off. Sounds like a formula for combustion.
And Vargas said he would crowd Mosley early, imposing his will on Shane. Let's see if that materializes. Action right off the bat.
Yeah, well, you know, Shane is using more of a probe like with his left hand, a filler just to keep him at a distance. Not a real hard jab. But Fernando is just trying to bore himself in. And I think the fight's going to get very explosive very early. But Shane is not the type of guy that's going to let anyone just run him down. He moved a lot in the second fight with Vernon Force, but I don't think that's going to be the case today.
Vargas indicated this would not be the defensively oriented fight you've seen the last couple of fights. Mosley very confident in his conditioning, saying he's prepared for whatever may come his way.
What the hell was inside?
Connected on the side of the head of Vargas.
This is the kind of controlled aggression that Vargas showed through his best fights.
Yeah, his fight goes. He never was really a reckless type of a guy. He always fought with very tight defense.
Yeah,
and, you know, and I think the style of his fight now is going back to what he used to be, but it seems to be just a little split second slower than he was a few years ago. That's the only difference.
He is getting beaten to the punch by Mosley.
And there were those who were wondering whether or not the defensively oriented style of Vargas was because of the back problems that he was having. And Larry indicated that he would be taking an anti-inflammatory, Vargas, before the fight.
Yeah, he said in his last two fights that because of his back problems and his conditioning problems, he had to fight at a slower pace. But he's not giving himself any excuses tonight.
It's a lot of health issues that Vargas has. He's bringing into the fight that has been a big question marks in my mind. The back, the excessive weight gain, up and down fluctuation, plus the physical damage that he's taken in those two fights, particularly with Trinidad and De La Hoya.
Having fought the best of his era at only age 28. That's the end of round one. Aggressive round for Shane Mosley, indeed.
That's all he got. Go back to the bottom, trying to give you. Give him a combination. Wait a second combination for me. Okay? Kick his jab. Hands up. All right? Keep going for the body shot. Pick his jab, right? Yeah, pick his jab. You're going to get, I want that 1-2 down the center. Tick, tick, tick. Feint, tick, tick, tick. Step through the middle. Throw that right here. All right? And make sure you weigh right, because he's going to be throwing that hook. All right? All right.
Check us out. Let's go, guys. Check us out.
Well, if folks were concerned that they would see the one-punch Shane Mosley that they've seen as of late, that certainly was not the case in round one.
But Shane is fighting a very tentative type fight, very cautious. He has a lot of respect for Fernando's punching power strength. I can still see that.
Good exchange. Body shots by Mosley. Left inside. by Vargas.
Mosley hoping those body shots will wear Vargas down. Vargas having some problems with stamina in his big fights.
Vargas walking down Mosley. Well, it was a distinctly Vargas crowd during the pre-fight introductions, but the Mosley followers letting themselves be heard.
I think you're going to hear the crowd continue to change up back and forth in this entire fight. You know, this is still in the section of the country where both of these guys come from, right here in this western section right here.
But also a lot of Mosley bettors.
Yes, right. The emotional darling of the crowd is Fernando, but the money guy is Shane.
Let's put it in frankly.
Rooting for your money.
Two lefts caught on the gloves of Vargas.
Shane punches fast, but I don't think his hands are tight at the end of his punches. That's why I've always shown him as a fast puncher, but he doesn't punch with his hands closed as tight as he should be.
More of a slap.
Yeah, more of a puncher that has speed, but not as much. But if he slapped good enough that he doesn't see the slap coming,
good punch
he can hurt it.
Inside by Mosley. Mosley keeps hitting him with these punches inside. He just might bust up Vargas.
Yeah, and what he's doing, he's using that little left hand and just a little probe to keep in his face, to keep him preoccupied. And therefore, a punch, even if it's not a hard punch, can hurt him because Vargas may not even see the punch.
Well, Larry's talking about busting up Vargas. There's quite a bit of swelling over the left eye of Fernando Vargas, and Mosley is going after that eye. Two rights connected.
Fernando has a history of swelling up and being hurt a lot, whereas Shane Mosley has never had too much of a history of actually being busted up around his face in fights.
But one thing we can already see is that Shane Mosley doesn't punch like Tito Trinidad.
No,
because he's hit him with some hard, clean shots, and Vargas doesn't seem affected as yet.
Well, the swelling over the left eye of Vargas is a target that Shane is going after aggressively.
Use your jab when you get close to him, the little short one that we had in the gym. All right? He's trying to hit you with that right hook. I need that same hand counter. You understand? And don't reach for him. Just keep walking at him. All right? Keep walking at him. Keep walking at him. Keep your hands up good. All right? And keep your hand off the center. All right? Move and hit. And touch your temples on both sides. Keep touching them up right around here. All right?
Bing, bing. 1, 2, hook. Bing, bing, bing. Roll him. Get on out there, all right? Keep boxing. Use that jab. That's nice. That's good boxing. That's real good boxing. I'm trying to walk it down. Don't worry about that. You give him something to come in. Bing, bing. Keep walking. Bang, bang. Roll, take on off. Jab more, champ. Jab more.
Emmanuel, you said earlier that you don't see Mosley as a real boxer, that he just fights and flurries and bursts. But he seems to be doing some pretty good boxing here.
He's doing this more of a controlled style of boxing, which is very good today. Not really a lot of power on his jabs, but he's just moving away, just keeping the left hand out there just enough where he can land the big shots every once in a while. It's a very smart fight.
Mosley has been active in round 2. He has the edge in power connects, 17-9, the edge over Vargas.
Vargas seems to be really focusing on trying to get a straight right hand lead off on Shane. And Shane is catching him a lot with left hooks in addition to the little short club and right hand that he's hitting Vargas with right over his eye.
And that eye continues to swell, Emmanuel, of Vargas.
All right, break out, come on, guys.
That's the right hand lead again. That seems to be the main punch that Fernando was trying to land, and he's really concentrating a lot on that punch.
Well, that was the punch that Vernon Forrest hurt Mosley with.
Good body shot right by Mosley to the body of Vargas.
those arms out, get him out, get those arms out, get him out. Hey, time. Fernando, keep the punches up, all right? Keep him up. All right, let's go.
Joe Cortez warning Fernando Vargas to keep the punches up as Vargas continuing to press the action. Can Vargas sustain an attack all night long against Shane Mosley?
Vargas is fighting just the way that he's playing in terms of being physically the stronger fighter, pushing the little guy around, and that's just what he's doing right now. And you can really see the weight difference as the fight is starting to progress more.
Vargas still trying to work the body in close. Cortez warning him again about keeping the punches up. Good flurry by Shane.
Bring up, push. Watch your heads aside, guys. Come on. Let him go, get those hands out. Let's go.
Right by Shane connects.
He's landing good blows on Fernando, but seems like he doesn't have enough power to hurt him at this stage right now. And
which is not unusual at this weight.
That's right, and you really can see, and Fernando seems to feel that. The way he's fighting is as if he can just physically try to walk through Shane. The right hand lead again.
Shane with the flurry, connecting on a couple. Good action to close that round.
Deep breath. Nice and relaxed. Do me a favor. Let's beat it. When you walking in, Shane, he can't touch you, baby. When you're here, if you notice, you're doing the feints, he's right here. Keep doing. Go here, bang. Rotate over here. Touch him. Keep walking like that.
All right, I'm telling you now.
Deep breath, baby. Deep breath. You gotta use your jab too, champ. But look, you're starting to lean over it. I don't want you reaching for him at all. Just be patient. Keep walking him down. Control the right side of the ring, all right? You got to move your head, though. You can't be on the center like that, all right? When you get close to him, give me the short jab on the inside. I haven't seen the 1-2 yet, baby.
All right.
You got to
you're just warming up, right, Fernando? Just warming up, baby. Let's go. Take the time.
Okay, guys. Check us out. Let's go.
Let's check in with Harold Letterman. Harold?
Money to see a fight, and you're seeing a fight. I love this thing. 30-27, 3 rounds to nothing. Ferocious Shane Mosley. I gotta tell you, Sugar Shane has landed the cleanest shots, especially that right hand. In round 3, a lot of wrestling. The reason Vargas was warned for the low blow was because he's banging the body. But when he does bang the body, leaves himself open. Sugar Shane gets in that right hand. 3-0, Mosley.
Well, I may have given that last round. I didn't score. Maybe possible to Fernando. He's getting to be more assertive, more confident. And even though Shane is landing blows, I don't see the real power in his blows. And his facial expression looks like he's still a little tight. He hasn't really relaxed yet in the fight.
I hate to see what he's going to do if he relaxes. Because I have it the same score as Harold.
Are you seeing a discernible difference in terms of power, Vargas being the naturally bigger man?
I think Vargas' power is better, but he's slower, though. His punches is not as fast as they used to be. But I think he still punches with more power than Shane. Shane is faster, though.
Punching with power is good, but you got to land the punches.
And that's the problem at this stage of the fight. Fernando's punching with more power, but he's just not landing the shots as much.
Mosley, for his part, doesn't seem to be overly concerned, and he talked a lot about having worked in sparring sessions with guys at 175 pounds to prepare him for this.
He still better watch out for the right hand of Fernando. Fernando's becoming more physical and more assertive as the fight is going on. And the right hand lead of his is beginning to be more effective in hitting Shane.
Vargas, nice body shot.
Vargas reminding us in some of these close quarters exchanges that he does have some boxing ability. He's never been the kind of reckless physical fight that many people associate with him because of his fiery temperament outside the ring.
Right hand again. He's landing the right hand still with more frequency to Shane. Shane is not really moving his head.
That was Vargas's most effective round.
Larry, you talked about where Vargas is in his game now. Maturation on Vargas's part?
He's always been mature. He was as mature as a kid.
Right? Keep your hands up at all times.
round 5.
All right? And watch the overhand right he's trying to throw. He hasn't started. He's starting to take them breaths. You see it? He took one. I want you to use your jab when you get close to him and find a straight right hand, okay? And make sure you weave to the right side.
At least 3 shots and then take off or just walk away. All right? Match your life just like that. You're looking good, baby. You're looking good. Give me this here. When you're getting close, you stay right in front of him. Give him something. Give him something. Don't just stand right here, baby, okay? Can you tighten it up? Just give him something. That way you can catch him with something. All right?
You got to take him with that jab. Hit him over that jab.
Grab your cheeks. You move that hand for me. Walk him around like you're doing. Don't be in a rush.
I think this next round or two is crucial for Mosley. Is he going to put real distance between himself and Vargas, or is he going to gradually wear down from the stronger guy in front of him?
As we begin round 5, scheduled for 12.
Two hard shots by Mosley in those exchanges.
Yeah, I saw Vargas landing shots too. Mosley's landing, but I just don't see the power in his punches. It seems like his hands are not even closed to me.
Both fighters certainly should be accorded a fair amount of respect, given that they have fought the best of their era. They have not backed down from anyone.
That's true. And especially when Shane loses a fight to a guy like Vernon Forrest, it goes directly back the next fight into it, and then loses to Winky Wright, and then chose to go directly back to Winky Wright again. The two guys that he lost to both of them twice. Because he went right back into him rather than try to take a soft fight in between.
Do you yield to the boxer's desire in that case? Because many were saying, why do that? Yeah, especially Vernon Forrest, his nemesis.
Yes, but Shane is a very, very proud man and very concerned about history. He's a really student of the game and a boxing historian, much like Bernard Hopkins. He is very concerned about his spot in history.
Well, his spot in history was primarily as a lightweight, where he knocked out every one of his challengers and then beating De La Hoya for the welterweight title. That's his claim.
And to your point, Larry, Shane hasn't scored a knockout in over 4.5 years. Vargas muscling Mosley. Will that wear Mosley down?
No wrestling, guys.
That's the punch right there. Shane is really like has no defense for that short right hand. He better be very lucky that Fernando is not faster than he is. Much like he didn't have a defense for Winky Wright's right jab.
Well, you can't say he's lucky that Fernando isn't as fast as him. Fernando's got other strengths, but that's not it.
Well, if Fernando was punching with more speed than that, I think he would have a real problem.
Well, then he wouldn't beat Fernando. He'd be somebody else.
Well, so far, the crowd appreciative of who they are.
I want you to keep that left hand up and the same hand count. I want you to grip that that left hook. When that right hand touch your glove, grip that hook, all right? And then come downstairs with it, all right? But I need you to jab it, but don't reach for him, all right? He's getting a little tired. He's not moving on his feet.
Yeah.
Won that round. Beautiful, my man.
Right hand by Mosley.
Yeah, you hear see Mosley through the right hand, but I don't see where, to me, they're having as much effect as they should have.
Seconds up.
And to your point again, shots landed. Vargas distinctly with the advantage in that last round, and Vargas executing his game plan very well.
I think evidently we chose to show right hands is landed by Shane, so that's all we saw. But I saw just as many right hands landed by Fernando, and I thought they had much more power on them.
Well, speaking of power shots, Vargas landed 17, Mosley 13 in round 5.
So the shots that we chose to show could be misleading.
And I guess one point of those replays as well, too, Emmanuel, it's been the right hand of Shane Mosley that has elicited, brought out the swelling over the left eye of Fernando Vargas.
Well, I think he's landing a lot, even though they're not just powerful, but I think he's landing a lot of punches.
Let me hold it. Let's go, guys. Let me hold him, Mosley.
Right counter by Vargas with power.
Right, Shane is not moving his head away from right-hand punches.
Come on, get those rounds out. All right, break out, team. Let's go. Break out. Come on, guys. Watch your heads inside, guys.
Left connected by Vargas.
Get those arms out. Get him out. Break out.
Well, they both missed with rights.
Yeah, good right hand, sure.
Break out. Get the hands out.
So far, the most effective punch, probably both of them have been right hands. I think Shane is landing more. I don't think they look good, but I don't think there's much power, but he's landing more.
Emmanuel, you talked earlier as well about the tenseness and nervousness associated with one fighter walking down the other, keeping the pressure on, which is what Vargas is doing. Will that pay dividends later?
Well, I'm just studying the expression of each fighter, and I'll try to go through their minds. Fernando seems to be much more comfortable with the situation. Even though Shane is landing, Shane's facial expression is he's very tense, very nervous, and still not as comfortable with the way things are going.
This isn't necessarily a comfort game.
Get him out.
You know, it's who lands the punches, who's putting more hurt on the other guy. And I think Mosley has come back with a pretty good round after the last 2.
Excitement at the end there, but you saw the flurries of Mosley, but the effective punches came from Vargas.
Well, if Shane can continue to do this is what I expected from Shane. Those type of outbursts, not single punches. I think he can pull the fight out. I don't know what the score is right now, but I probably feel that Shane should be winning it, but it's got to be a little bit more competitive, except for that good flurry this last of the second round.
Every time you throw your right hand, I want you to go under.
Round 7, champ. Come on, good.
Swallow that water and a deep breath. All right, talk to me. How you feel, baby? Yeah. All right, that's what I want to hear, right there. Look, when you get close to him, I need a jab and a straight right hand, all right?
I think that Vargas' right hands are having much more power and effect than Shane's, even though Shane is landing more.
Mosley's speed likely won the first 3 rounds. Vargas' strength got him back in the bout. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Exactly, JB. 57-57, 3 rounds apiece. I got it all even so far. The first 3 rounds to Sugar Shane Mosley. The next 3 rounds to ferocious Fernando Vargas. Fernando Vargas is starting to back him up. And I tell you, who would have thought that these guys would fight head-to-head, toe-to-toe like this? Because, you know, you think Mosley would move, turn and move to the side, whatever. He's standing right in front of Vargas. He's letting Vargas murder him in the body. And Sugar Shane's mouth is wide open. 3-3.
I have it 4-2 for Mosley. I gave the last round to him.
What, should Mosley be moving more as opposed to trying to mix it up toe-to-toe with Vargas?
I either just throwing faster combination, but, you know, maybe they're both slipped. This is why it's a competitive fight. They both have dropped down a notch. I think Shane right now still maybe actually winning the fight because of his speed that he has. He still put together more punches, I think.
This is going to come down to the last quarter or third of the fight, last 3 or 4 rounds. Vargas has had some problems with his stamina in the past. Mosley has been able to close the shows. We'll see if history stands up here.
Usually in the close fights, they like this. The fighter who can put together those fast outbursts usually can win those type decisions. Similar to what Mosley just did at the end of the last round.
It's not like either fighter has really hurt the other guy yet. Not a short, crisp, punching, high-class stuff. A very good fight, but nobody has suffered any damage yet.
Interesting to note how Vargas is executing what he says his trainer Danny Smith has taught him in using the jab more and cutting the ring.
Okay, watch your head, let's go. Come on, let's go, come on, bro. I don't want to wrestle inside, guys. Come on, your hands are free. Oh, watch your head. Come on, watch your head, guys.
Right hand lead again.
By Vargas.
Yep. And then Shane explodes after that almost every time.
And a left by Vargas. Left again by Vargas. 2-punch combination.
Yeah, Shane is landing, but I just he's punching with his gloves about 70% close open, and Vargas is punching, even though I think they're slower, but his fist is closed at the end of his punch, and his body weight is in the punches.
Come on, watch your heads inside. Let's go. Keep your hands up, come on.
I can't help but get the feeling that if Vargas continues to fight this way and Shane allows him, Vargas is better executing this way than Shane.
Yeah, he's making it a physical fight.
Real close fight, baby. You hear me?
Here we go.
This is a real close-ass fight. All right? I need you to tell me how you feel.
I feel good. He ain't got nothing on me.
It ain't the point he got something. It's the point of the judges. You understand?
Round coming up, guys.
Take your deep breath.
Right,
I need you to keep doing what you're doing.
You're taking the lead now.
Keep doing what you're doing. Stay close to him. Stay close to him. Keep pushing him around. Keep pushing him around. Keep banging him to the body. But when you get close, hit him with a little short jab, all right?
Okay.
And find that straight right hand behind it.
Round 8.
And make sure when you're throwing your right hand that you weave, because we don't want to get hit with them hooks. Touch your temples on both sides, because we don't want to get hit with that right hand, all right? That's all he's looking for. All right?
Very bad swelling around the left eye of Fernando Vargas.
Testimony to how many of those quick little right hands Mosley has been landing.
Power shots close in round 7. Vargas 20 of 51. Mosley 18 of 38.
No wrestling, guys. Come on. Get him out. Let's go. All right, break. Okay, that's it. Come on, let's go.
Blood coming from the mouth of Fernando Vargas, along with a gruesome-looking left eye.
Neither guy seem to have developed any defense for the other guy's right hand.
Get him out of there. All right, break out clean.
When an eye is puffed like that, Emmanuel, is it in danger of splitting open or not?
No, a lot of time the blood is just some pressure, you know. And some guys, like years back, Joe Frazier used to use the some stuff on his brand, on his skin, and many of the old timers where you never see Joe Frazier get cut. Even in the fight with Ali, where his eyes would swell up, but the skin was just toughened so much they would never cut.
Shane tried to deliver a home run left hook there, man.
A lot of pressure, though, that is building up on that left eye.
Keep him on, let's go, guys. Keep him on, let's go.
And Emmanuel, even though it may appear to be, and you correct me, a little light tapping and slapping by Shane. Shane was talking about how he got caught up previously trying to deliver power by getting flat-footed as opposed to delivering those punches naturally.
Well, I look at him as a flurry fighter. I've always looked at him as a flurry. I never saw him really as much of a boxer or anything like that. It's those flash combinations that he has.
Three rights on that swollen eye.
I don't think that he can even see the right hands coming from over there. He was getting hit with them already, but now I think it's even worse. He can't even see them coming.
Shane, of course, is eye hunting.
Fernando's history of swelling up very badly with his facial features in fights is really being a big factor in this fight.
That has plagued him throughout.
Plagued him throughout his career. He's always had problems. Well, I don't think I ever recall Shane too much ever being busted up or swelling up in any of these fights.
And Shane continuing to work that right side and right punch on that left eye of Vargas.
And Vargas doesn't even try to block it.
Vargas keeps fighting, but he took a beating in that round, and that eye looks like it
may be severe enough to even have the fight stopped.
No question about it. Well, if there was any question about what kind of fight this was going to be, it's a war. Both fighters bringing their best tonight as if their respective careers depend on it.
Touch with the right hand, they're going to stop the fight. You understand what I'm telling you? So you got to keep your hands up. You got to be weaving under. You're not weaving under. You're dependent on just blocking them. Get under someone. Make him waste his energy by missing. Okay. All right? When you get close, you got to hit him with a little short jab on the inside. Right here.
You're going to the ninth round, man.
Hey, Fernando, you got to start protecting yourself. You start getting hit with those right hands that you can't see those punches coming. I'm going to have no choice but to stop the fight.
You ready? All right, baby.
You heard referee Joe Cortez.
right? Warning about that eye. That's getting into Hasim Rahman territory, where it looked like he was growing a second head in his fight with Holyfield.
And I think the one thing, by him, keeping his left eye and head right up there close to Moses' right hand without even keeping his hand up to protect punching is very, very dangerous. He should right now come out and let everything hang out if he's going to ever do it, because the fight's probably going to be stopped in the next round or so.
Referee Joe Cortez articulating what you said, that Vargas doesn't appear as if he can even see the rights coming.
Right. Vargas should come out and let all of his power go with his own right hand now and go for the knockout, one way or another. He cannot afford to keep fighting the same pattern fight that he's been fighting all along.
Yeah, but the advice he got in the corner, Emmanuel, was to protect the eye.
Wrong advice. He can't do it. This stage, he need to go all out for the knockout. It's all the only chance he's got.
That eye is virtually closed of Fernando Vargas. Consecutive lefts to the body of Vargas. And now a right to that eye.
And look at Joe Cortez is right now getting on the verge of stopping the fight.
It is gruesome looking indeed. Cortez looking critically at that eye of Fernando Vargas.
He needs to throw more of his power right hand punches. That's the only thing he's got going for him. And not to the body. He needs to throw him with full power on the chin. That's the only thing that he's been successful with tonight.
Break up. Let's go.
we may not see either fighter collect the $100,000 in terms of the knockout, but maybe there should have been another bet with respect to the eye being closed.
Well, if the fight is stopped, I don't know if that counts as a knockout or whether they need a TKO. Maybe they'll need lawyers to decide that.
Purposely ambiguous in what they meant. Understood.
I think it was more of a mind bet than a real bet.
Make sure you stay with the straight punches. Okay, look at the eye. Nice.
Can you open it at all?
Yeah. There we go. Hey, get you some water, baby. Talk to me. How you feeling? Good. All right. Listen, you gotta keep your hands up good. And watch that right hand, all right? You gotta keep your eyes on that right hand. You gotta jab your way forward, straight right hand, all right? Keep weaving underneath shots. Okay. Don't stand up. Don't be on the center. Okay. All right. Hey, get you another wrist, baby. He dead me. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Hold on.
There was a meeting between the ring physician, Mark Ratner, the director of the Boxing Commission, and Joe Quartey along the ropes. Obviously, they're talking about the eye and whether to stop the fight or not, depending on what happens here.
I think the fact that Fernando may have won the last round is what gave him a little reprieve. I think if he had lost the last round big, they would have stopped the fight.
Well, let's see if Harold Letterman agrees with you. Harold?
No, I don't. Okay, I got it. 86, 85, 5 rounds to 4. Sugar Shane Mosley. I just thought that Fernando Vargas couldn't see that right hand coming. I know darn well that that left eye is giving him a lot of pain, as well as, doing a number of his vision. So Shane Mosley, I think, wins round 8 and 9. He goes up by 1 round, 5 rounds to 4.
They're looking across the ring from Mosley's corner. They understand what's going on. What do they tell Mosley? Should Mosley be just going for the right eye?
Let's keep going for the right eye, that's all. Just don't do anything. Just keep trying to hit him in the right eye. And in Fernando's case, he should be told to let full power go with every punch that he throws.
And Fernando tried to do just that, Manny, in the last round, delivering 15 power shots to just 9 to Mosley.
That's why I can see why Harold had him losing. I thought that Fernando won the last round, even though his eyes closed up, but I didn't see what Shane did too much.
Shane continuing to work that eye, and Joe Cortez says, that's it. Did not want to see that eye continue to take more punishment.
Well, if Shane Mosley says that's his last fight as a junior middleweight, he made it a fond farewell.
With an exclamation point.
It's not his last fight, that's for sure. Maybe last fight at 154.
As the fighters embrace, and Emmanuel, that's a good point. We had talked at the top of the show about how these fighters had to look if they wanted to sustain their careers beyond here, at least from a fan interest standpoint. Your reaction?
I thought Shane fought a smart fight, considering everything. He knew the guy was physically much stronger than him, and he just did enough to stay out of the harm's way and win the fight. Whichever opportunity presents itself, and it turned out to be the eye injury, presented itself as being the best opportunity, and he capitalized on that.
Whatever you see you can capitalize on, go for it.
That's what you have to do. This is all boxing.
Well, for the official decision, let's go inside the ring to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas, referee Joe Cortez must step in and call a halt to the contest. The official time, 1 minute, 22 seconds of round number 10. The winner by TKO victory, Sugar Shane
and Mosley.